monster was sent flying by the rebound and let out a crack as it died on the spot. Gu Tian'er stood behind and asked, "Who are you? How do you know about the Gu family's divine powers?" A middle-aged man turned around, showing a set of yellowed teeth, thinking to himself, Tian'er must have been shocked by my distinguished aura. Gu Tian'er looked at the old man's face and was speechless, thinking, "Uncle, how long has it been since you brushed your teeth?" She turned around and asked, "You say you are my ancestor? Then are you Gu Nanshan?" The middle-aged man smiled and said, "Hee, that's right." She asked expressionlessly, "Why should I believe you?" This question left the middle-aged man speechless for a moment, unsure of how to respond. The Grand Elder appeared just in time, coming to the man's rescue. The Grand Elder said, "Tian'er, he really is your ancestor, your bloodline." Upon seeing the Grand Elder, Gu Tian'er happily called out, "Master! Why are you here?" The middle-aged man arrogantly placed his hand on the Grand Elder's shoulder and laughed, "This time, little girl, do you believe it now?" Then, she knelt down and bowed, saying, "Ancestor, please accept Tian'er's bow." The middle-aged man laughed heartily, "Haha. Good. Look how well-behaved our Tian'er is." The Grand Elder interrupted displeased, "Hey, can you let go of me?" The middle-aged man leaned in close to Gu Tian'er and said, "Tian'er, don't worry. Now that your ancestor is backing you, no one will dare bully you. Even that damned Gu Chang'e will be no exception." Gu Tian'er's eyes lit up, and she asked, "Ancestor, is that true? Even Gu Chang'e, you can conquer him?" The middle-aged man laughed loudly, "Of course. Don't worry, with me protecting you, how could he possibly kill you?" But Gu Tian'er coldly retorted, Is it really that simple?" The man looked puzzled and asked, Isn't that enough? Do you want me to help you kill Gu Chang'e?" Gu Tian'er feigned a flattering tone and said, "Of course not. I just hope the ancestor can help suppress his cultivation, lowering it to the same realm as mine." She thought for a moment and added, No. It should be suppressed to one realm lower than mine." The middle-aged man scratched his head and asked, "What does it mean to suppress cultivation?" Gu Tian'er said firmly, "Ancestor, help me suppress his cultivation to the Wind Marquis realm. I want to fight him head-on." This left the ancestor stunned, confused. He then asked the Grand Elder, "Isn't Tian'er supposed to hate Gu Chang'e? That guy from back then?" The Grand Elder didn't say anything, only closing his eyes and stroking his beard. Gu Tian'er said from the side, "Ancestor, didn't you know before you came here? There might be some hidden truth about what happened back then. Gu Chang'e hid his abilities. It seems he has space talents." The ancestor thought with concern, space talents. Although the bone of the Tao is strong, it still falls short compared to space talents. He muttered to himself, how could our Gu family have such an unorthodox and evil talent? But on the surface, he still laughed loudly and said, "Ha. I see. Tian'er, now you understand, right? You can understand that guy's good intentions. Ha. This left the Grand Elder stunned. The old man's expression was as though struck by lightning, unable to believe it. Scene transition to another place. On the great ship of the primordial demon sect, thunder and demonic energy filled the air as it stood side by side with other ships. On the ship, members of the shaman tribe stood on magical artifacts. One person said, "I didn't expect the demon sect to be so imposing at first, speaking no words. Yet now they block our way here." Another person responded, "I heard they are waiting for young Master Gu Chang'e to come and kill the shaman tribe." Discussions rang out. "I didn't expect the Chongqing family to be the most mysterious family in the upper realm. It is said to have existed for a long time and possesses extraordinary strength. If this battle breaks out, even if they aren't strong in the war, they certainly won't be weak." The chief general of the primordial demon sect shouted excitedly, "Young Master Gu Chang'e is here. The shaman tribe attacked us with a holy weapon, now they will pay the price. Everyone, prepare to destroy the entire shaman tribe." Behind, excited shouts rang out, "Destroy the whole tribe! Destroy the whole tribe!" A member of the shaman tribe, stepped on and trapped underfoot, shouted in despair, "Primordial demon sect, do you know who I am? You're at war with the evil tribes. You're bullying others too much, and you will surely face retribution." The general sneered, "Don't be in a hurry, young master hasn't arrived yet. The good show is still to come." Scene transition to Baiheng Mountain Range. Yu Mingkong was still guarding in front of the Immortal Gate. She sighed, with only the spiritual energy runes here. It's probably not going to last long. With the energy leaking so severely, it's impossible to gather more. Suddenly, she noticed something and exclaimed, "It's coming. This aura, it's from the Saint Realm." Inside the immortal gate, Guchanga was forcefully enduring the violent thunder tribulation. In his mind, he thought, "Heavenly thunder, in the end, you still can't bring yourself to strike against me?" Outside the immortal gate, Yu Mingkong nervously thought, is this his true cultivation? The Saint Realm. If someone gets targeted by him, it will truly be the beginning of a nightmare. Guchanga stepped out of the immortal gate, his body covered in slight wounds, his clothes torn, revealing his firm 8-pack abs. He mumbled, "Damn it, do they really want to force me to death?" This made Yu Mingkong unable to help but laugh, with a pff sound. Guchanga rested his shoulder on hers and teased, "Am I handsome? If so, look a little longer. Anyway, sooner or later, I will be yours." Yu Mingkong froze, stammering, "Nonsense. Hurry up and put on your clothes." But Guchanga continued teasing, "What are you shy about? After all, you'll have to see me sooner or later." Yu Mingkong's face turned red with anger. And she replied, "Who wants to look?" The two of them looked at the immortal gate, which was about to close. Guchanga spoke, "The immortal gate will close soon, and it won't be easy to open again later." Yu Mingkong thought for a moment and said, "This matter is no longer important. Does anyone know that you came in before?" Guchanga sneered, "Right, no one knows about this except you." This made Yu Mingkong feel downcast. She thought anxiously, what does he mean? But she firmly said, "Don't worry, I won't reveal this secret." Guchanga thought to himself, "Just consider it like I've been bitten by a snake, I'll be cautious with ropes in the future. What I said earlier was just casual talk." Then he comforted her, saying, "What are you nervous about? Of course, I know you wouldn't do such a thing." Inside a gemstone bottle emitting a blue glow, the surrounding immortal spirits jumped around Yu Mingkong. She shouted, "These are immortal spirits." Guchanga walked away and said, "This is a reward for your hard work. Don't think too much about it, just consider it as me giving you some money." Yu Mingkong looked at him and thought, he took the risk to bring this back, and now he's giving it to me? She bit her lip, thinking, how nice it would have been if I hadn't said that. She asked, "Hey, Guchanga." Guchanga answered, "What is it?" She continued, "Are you really just going to leave like this?" Scene transition, a purple light appeared and flew toward a dragon-headed ship. Guchanga, now dressed properly, landed. Someone in the crowd shouted, "Greetings, young master." Guchanga thought to himself, with this power and these puppets, I can easily wipe out the pig immortal ancient clan. What's more, I still have the power of my mother from the Taichu demon sect. The shaman tribe wants to push me into a dead end, then let me use you to warn them. The great elder should also be at the immortal ancient, he owes me a favor. Guchanga, with a solemn expression, thought, the ancestor of the Gu family, although I don't know who he is, I must find a way to make him help me. Guchanga shouted loudly, "Everyone, follow me into the shaman tribe's territory." The subordinates of the shaman tribe shouted, "Guchanga." A person standing at the front said, "If you want to fight, do it openly. What's this about taking our young master as a hostage?" The people behind also shouted, "Release our young master." Guchanga, with no expression, said, "Your young master?" The general of the Taichu demon sect pushed aside a person who had lost their wings, and said, "Young master, this is him." He said he wanted an explanation from his childhood playmate. The young master of the shaman tribe looked up, tears in his eyes, his face swollen, one of his teeth knocked out, and he angrily shouted, "Guchanga, I will kill you. I will avenge Wu Jing." The leader of the shaman tribe side shouted, "Wu Xian. Young master, Guchanga, quickly hand over the young master to us." Guchanga sneered, "Two headless ones are quite a match." "Fine, I'll give him back to you, go ahead." Guchanga exerted force with one hand, using his own power to throw the young master of the shaman tribe away. He struck a force into the person's chest, then threw him back to the shaman tribe's people. The subordinates of the shaman tribe caught the young master and shouted, "Young master." The person who was struck yelled, "The spiritual energy in my body is going wild. Damn it, what did Guchanga do to me?" A golden light appeared in his chest and spread throughout his body. The general of the shaman tribe was panicked, sweating profusely as he said, "Could it be Before he could react, a violent explosion suddenly occurred in the sky, instantly turning the shaman tribespeople to ashes. The general of the Taichu demon sect clasped his hands and said, "Young master, at this point, I will lead people to annihilate the entire shaman tribe." Guchanga replied, "Hey, why start by exterminating their entire clan? We should leave them some chance, we should give them an opportunity." A purple light flashed in his eyes as he said, "If they still don't understand, then let them kill each other." Then, many rays of light shot, like arrows, toward the shaman tribe's territory. The ancestor of the Gu family, the Great Elder, and Gu Xian'an were observing from within a passage. The ancestor said, not bad, this method, this is the kind of demeanor a young master of the Gu family should have." The Great Elder thought to himself, as expected, they are not from the same family, not from the same sect. Gu Xian'an asked, "Ancestor, there should be a supreme-level expert within the shaman tribe, right? If he just goes in like this." The ancestor continued observing and said, but looking at that person's deep and composed manner." Guchanga stood in the air and shouted loudly, "People of the shaman tribe, listen up, this is your last chance. Today, either surrender or die." One person in the hall shouted, Guchanga, we only refrained from attacking your juniors due to an external contract. Do you think we don't dare bully you? These people want to defeat us? You're out of your mind." The elders of the shaman tribe said, "Up until now, the Long clan has not responded to our request for aid, clearly wanting us to take action first." Another person angrily said, "Damn it, isn't that his true dragon token?" The Great Elder said, "If we want to reconcile, it seems the only option is to ask the ancestor to come out of seclusion." Guchanga thought outside, "For a winged race, the Black Sky Eagle clan's head is much smarter than yours." Guchanga immediately gave the order, "Kill." The subordinates of the Taichu demon sect charged toward the shaman tribespeople, launching a bloody massacre. Those who could avoid it rushed forward and shouted, "Changa Guchanga! Even if today's jade and stone are all burned, we will never let the shaman tribe's reputation be tarnished." Another woman shouted, "Kill Wu Jing and the young master of the shaman tribe, I am willing to give my life to repay." Guchanga laughed and said, "Burn jade and stone? I'm afraid you don't have that ability. Your cultivation level is far from surpassing mine. It's just right. I haven't made a move since my breakthrough." His expression turned ferocious, and power poured down like a torrent. He said, "Let me practice on you." In the blink of an eye, dazzling lights pierced through the bodies of the charging shaman tribe members, and everyone fell dead on the spot. The blood hadn't even flowed out before those people were already dead. As Guchanga prepared to rush toward the main hall, a magical artifact appeared, and the shaman tribe's subordinates shouted, "Sacred artifact! Golden will turn." Guchanga quickly used 2 fingers to unleash power, shouting, "Supreme treasure!" A massive green long knife appeared, ready to slash at that sacred artifact. When the long knife pierced through the sacred artifact, it also injured the 2 people controlling it. Immediately after, a pillar of light shot straight into the sky, flying toward the shaman tribe's territory. The ancestor of the Gu family said, "Could this boy be planning to duel with the shaman tribe's experts?" Guchanga stood in the air, coldly looking at the ancestor, a faint smile appearing on his face, which startled the ancestor. The ancestor thought, with his cultivation, how does he know I'm hiding here? It seems I've let my guard down. Guchanga said, "A bunch of turtles hiding their heads actually want the juniors to die, it's really people like you." Below, the Great Elder was casting spells, protecting the various clan leaders. The people below shouted, "Guchanga deserves to die." "You." Another person panicked and shouted, quickly ask the ancestor to come out of seclusion." Guchanga landed and said, "2 choices, either surrender, or fight me and get killed." The Great Elder responded, "You can do any evil deed, scheme and plot, but in the end, it won't end well for you." Guchanga coldly laughed and said, "I, Gu, cannot believe such words. Clearly, you were plotting to kill me, which is why you invited the Dragon Clan. Unfortunately for you, I ruined your plans, so how could I be fighting and at the same time being slandered?" Wu Jing's grandfather roared, "Guchanga! My granddaughter died at your hands, and now our shaman tribe's young master is going to pay with his life. Is this not enough? You still refuse to repent, and now you've forced me to intervene. Do you believe Gu Chang'e merely waved his hand, causing Wu Jing's grandfather to turn his face away. He coldly said, "You talk and talk, but you old fools don't even have the courage to strike. You want to clean up the mess with just your mouths?" He continued, "You are all from the older generation, cultivated for hundreds of thousands of years, yet your courage is pathetic. Don't waste my time, you might as well end it yourselves." One elder beside them stammered, You. The great elder raised his hand signaling to stop. "Don't listen to this man." Gu Chang'e closed his eyes and sighed, Well, if you want act, I won't be polite." Suddenly, he noticed a beauty standing in the distance who said, "Gu family young one, don't be too greedy." The old folks below all shouted in unison, "Ancestor." "We greet the ancestor." Gu Chang'e thought, a potential supreme, at least with a cultivation of the third heaven, but... A subordinate of the shaman tribe cheered, "The ancestor is awake." "Great, we can turn the tide." Another person added, "This time, Gu Chang'e will definitely lose." The shaman tribe's ancestor landed on the ground and spoke with a commanding tone, "You killed my people and destroyed my territory. Now that I have appeared, Gu family, you should give a reasonable explanation." Suddenly, an extremely enchanting beauty stepped forward, coldly saying, "If not." She lowered her head, her gaze cold, and continued, "I might accidentally burn you to ashes." Gu Chang'e sneered, thinking, Haha, another family leader from the heavenly realm coming here to make trouble every season. He then changed his tone and shouted loudly, "Oh my ancestor," she threatened me, saying the Gu family must give her a reasonable explanation. She even said she would burn the Gu family head. This left everyone in the shaman tribe stunned. The shaman tribe's ancestor was shocked, and the elders behind him quickly asked, "What? Oh. The Gu family has an ancestor here?" Gu Chang'e still firmly shouted, "Ancestor. I can't defeat her. Please protect the Gu family's reputation." This left the Gu family ancestor, who had been observing from above, speechless, his jaw nearly dropping. The great elder and Gu Xianer couldn't help but laugh. And he thought, this kid is really plotting against me. Helpless, the Gu family ancestor had no choice but to break open the passage and stand in front of Gu Chang'e. Gu Chang'e pretended to be surprised and said, "Oh. It's the South Mountain ancestor. I, Gu Chang'e, have admired you since childhood. However, the ancestor has been in seclusion for decades. And I simply haven't had the fate to meet you." He thought, Gu Nanshan was at the Emperor realm before his seclusion. Gu Chang'e cupped his hands and bowed, shouting, "Greetings, ancestor." The Gu family ancestor said angrily, Kid, you've really gone too far." Gu Chang'e replied, "The ancestor is overpraising me. After all, this matter was instructed by you. And I, Gu Chang'e, am just following orders." The shaman tribe's ancestor thought, Gu family ancestor? Why can't I feel the slightest pressure of a supreme from you? It's like a bottomless abyss. One of the shaman tribe's elders said, "This is the Gu family ancestor? Doesn't look like a potential emperor." Another one said, "Could he just be a supreme? Perhaps we need another ancestor for us to have a chance." Gu Chang'e wickedly prepared to enter the passage, saying, "Next, Gu Chang'e will cause some more trouble for you. Now, Gu Chang'e will take his leave." The Gu family ancestor crossed his arms and coldly said, Wait. I will settle accounts with you." The Gu family ancestor looked at the shaman tribe's ancestor and said, "You are the shaman tribe's ancestor? Is there also a potential supreme? Go together and face the punishment." The shaman tribe's ancestor roared, "Punishment? We, the shaman tribe, are not the Gu family's subordinate force. You are so overbearing, don't you fear provoking the entire heavenly ancient's fury?" One subordinate above said, "That is the Gu family ancestor." Another woman said, "I fear a great battle will soon break out." The ancestor of the Gao family sneered and said, "Arrogant and overbearing? Wasn't it you who first used a sacred artifact to murder my Gao family's young master? For 10,000 years, my Gao family has never been plotted against. What right do you have?" This left the ancestor of the shaman tribe stunned. Soon after, the Gao Nanshan ancestor's fist struck fiercely towards the chest of the shaman tribe's ancestor. He coldly said, "Then, let me turn you into ashes." That punch released blue light, and the shaman tribe ancestor's armor began to crack. In an instant, a thunderous force tore through the sky, landing precisely on the shaman tribe's land. The light penetrated